Try.
Ooh, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Uh-oh. I gotta remember how to get the link. This was always like a race. There it is. Okay, it works this time.
This is traumatic.
Now I'll tweet it.
Oh, now most of my Saturday is going to be figuring out why we don't think I have a camera.
Yes,
I'm looking at it right now with my special eyes. It's almost, it's like not recognizing that you had a particular body part, but like that was visible, like a nose. No, I'm not recognizing that I have a nose.
Your brain is telling you, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
I can see it. No, it's not there. No, I could touch it with my finger. No, I'm afraid it's not there. I mean, try as you might, you're not going to convince me. It's just not there.
Oh, we already have someone in the chat. Uh-oh.
Oh God, I forgot how the hell to look at that.
Take a look at my tweet. Oh, they were like waiting. I don't know what's going on.
It could be Allison.
It's actually not. It's
okay,
it's
that's
Mike.
group chat.
Oh, Joshua Caleb's in.
How do I?
Okay, we have.
Where do I see? Oh, I have to go to the link to see it. Is that how that works?
Yeah, just go to my Twitter. Click the link. You'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be there. You're invited.
Well, I mean, I'd hope I'm invited. Okay, cool. Oh, here we are.
So we are live with GenERIC TOMmentary. I was planning on doing this with Tom Hall, but I guess I'm doing it with Megazord instead.
Yeah, because for some reason, I don't know. The laptop isn't recognizing that it has a camera, even though I can see it. Why?
Huh.
Oh. So watching the live chat also means I'm halfway watching the video of this, and that's
really disorienting. Yeah, I can't do it. I gotta figure out how to not do this.
I've got it. I snapped one to one side, and there. Now I can.
Adjusting to being the person who has their technical stuff under control better than the other. I'm not used to this position.
Yeah, I'm not used to it either. So Sweet. That's a thing. Hey, have you been playing any old video? Oh no, wait. No, that's a thing from days gone yore.
It was.
I'm
surprised you remember that. You remember that?
Oh, I remember it. I remember everything.
Okay, that's kind of scary.
Uh-huh.
How have you been, my friend? Let's catch up.
Oh, well, let's see. Since the last time we physically spoke, not like digitally spoke, like.
And we did speak on a physical level, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I live in a whole different state. You've had 2 children.
Yeah, that's weird. I thought it was painful each time.
It was
my body could take another one.
Not as I think officially you get Disney World. I remember reading somewhere.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yeah, if a man is able to have a child or something, I believe it was in Walt Disney's will that you get the keys to the kingdom.
That's a really okay.
I don't know.
Take it, I guess.
I don't know. You know what we need is we need Alex Weiss, the fact checker.
We do.
To check. But yeah, I mean things are good here.
Yeah, good.
Got a
I'm glad to hear that.
Got a fancy new roommate.
Fancy roommate, huh? Not like one of those like informal casual roommates.
Yeah. No, I mean it's so fancy. Like
so
she wears like derby hats and scarves and stuff. It's fancy.
How about a cummerbund?
No, that's for me. That's for me.
Oh.
That's what I wear with my monocle when I come in wearing my white gloves and swinging my cane about.
Oh, is that what they call it these days?
Yes. Oh, hello, and all of that.
You cane swinger, you.
I have 4 four gentlemen with the long horns, and they play me in, and then there's another fellow with a scroll, and he comes in after the horns and unrolls the scroll and announces me, and then I enter a room. It's very fancy. I didn't have any of that. Okay. Before Allison moved in.
That's a lot of changes in just a few years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is within the last month since Allison moved here. Before then, it was, baked beans out of a can, not even heated up.
If I understand, all the fanciness is her. Like, it's not you at all.
Yeah. Okay. No. In no way am I on my own fancy.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's work?
It's different than I envisioned it would be when I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice way to say this.
Okay. It's one of those things.
Yeah. Well, it's like I have it pretty good there, right? Like there are things I really can't complain about. I kind of come and go as I please. I can schedule appointments in the middle of the day. A lot of times they don't even make me make up that time. Like there's like things like that, but the other half of it is starting to weigh down the first part where it's like a reasonable ratio of developers to testers is like 3-4 to 1. I am currently sitting at 13 to 1.
Okay. 13.
Yeah.
That's
and I can do that
because
I am efficient and good, and I work with logic well, and I have a lot of things automated.
I mean, I always think of those things in terms of childcare ratios, and if you were in charge of 13 toddlers, you just would be having a horrible day every day.
Yeah. Unless you were super into watching toddlers, I guess.
Sure.
But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Right? And sometimes you feel like it, I'm sure, that you're just watching 13 toddlers.
It's a little bit of a different situation than was discussed before I agreed to the position in the move.
That never feels good.
Things haven't panned out quite how I thought they would, but it's still, the actual job is good, and a lot of the little fringe things I have going on are good.
Sure.
So it's like,
yeah.
I've really got
control do you have over changing?
Those things, not really any. So it's just sort of how much of that are you willing to live with for now? And I'm like, my electricity is on. We've got food in the refrigerator. I'm like, no one is beating my door down for back bills of any kind. So it's like, I mean,
just earlier tonight, I was telling my wife, like, I was looking at our house and we were talking about stuff we don't like. And I just said, you know what? Some people don't even have a garage. We have a garage.
I don't have a garage.
I'm going to be thankful for our garage in this moment.
You could put all kinds of things in there. You could put cars. No, you don't even have to put a car.
I may not like where things are put. There may be stuff in there I don't understand why it's in there. But it is in there. Yeah, there's a place.
And there's something to be said for finding a piece of thankfulness in any little thing. In my better moments, I'm good at that. In a lot of moments, I'm not. But
I struggle with that too, because I think sometimes I can't go 100% committing to saying that your mood is your choice, because that's not true. Like, you can't just choose to be happy every day. But I do think there are moments in the day when you can choose to take control of some element, and that alone might make you feel a little better.
I always like to say that in any situation, the only thing you can control is yourself.
Okay.
And so you might not be able to stifle an emotion of anger or disappointment, but you can control how you are outwardly manifesting that.
Okay, I like that.
I mean, like, I don't know.
You could sabotage and make everything worse.
Yeah.
But even if you're upset, you can deal with it in a healthier way. Okay.
But it's like, usually when you get to a point where you would need to think that, you are literally the only thing you can control at that point.
True.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I want to tell you my coworker story.
Oh, yes. We mentioned this.
Yeah. Because I think you're someone that enjoys commenting on human behavior.
I do.
This isn't the easiest thing to summarize because there's context, but I'm going to just barrel through, okay? I've learned the hard way not to use real names, so we're going to call him Jeff. So Jeff is 58 years old.
Uh-huh.
He's worked for our company for 31 years.
Holy crap.
So since 1986, he's worked there, okay?
And for reference, I'm 34.
I'm 31. My entire life, he's been there.
That's nuts. Okay.
It's crazy. Now, since he was a teenager, he has smoked. Now, in March, he quit smoking.
All right.
Great for him.
Good for him, yeah.
Everyone
absolutely.
agreed. In May, it was discovered he had cancer in his lung.
Mm.
The good news was, it was the kind they could operate on. They could just slice a chunk of his lung out. No cancer. Just get it all out of there in one good swoop.
Bickety bam. Nice.
So late, or like mid-June, he goes in for the procedure. Has the surgery, has part of his lung taken out. Goes on medical leave for like 5 or 6 weeks, right? Okay. Now this man who's been coming to work for 31 years, 60 hours a week.
Ugh.
Monday through Thursday, comes in at 5 a.m., leaves at 4:30. Friday comes in at 5 a.m., leaves at 1. Saturdays comes in at 5 and leaves at 11. Here's the crazy thing, Tom, and the part I'm curious about. The past few weeks while he's been on medical leave, he has sometimes come into the shop and into the office just to kind of hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he this is a man who does not know what else to do in his life.
Yes.
He cannot stay away from work. And I think the word awkward gets tossed around a lot, but it's really awkward.
Huh. That's not where I thought the story was going.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to come back, and then the next thing you know, he's smoking again.
No, he's not smoking. He's not dead. Nothing like that. But like,
yeah.
Like, how do you deal with a guy who just doesn't know what else to do except drive to work and just kind of linger?
I mean, I sympathize with the guy.
Okay.
Because that's all you've known. I mean, if we added up what 31 years times 60 hours a week was, like, he literally doesn't know what, anything but work.
And like, I don't want to say too much about him personally. Like, I don't want to turn this into gossip.
Sure.
But for just one more shred of context, there are other guys in the shop who work that much.
Yeah.
But they're married, they have kids, etc. He doesn't.
Right.
So I wonder how much of that it is, and just like does he I don't know.
Because if he sits at home, he has to think about his own mortality for a while.
Is that it? But I would stay at home.
Hard to say without, knowing a person, but
right.
Like, I could easily see it going there. You're sitting at home and you're thinking, gosh, I could have just died.
Okay. So
maybe I could almost be dead. I could be dead right now. You know what? I'm going to go to the office for a bit. Because that's the only place I've ever actually been alive, because it's all I've ever done with my life is be at that office.
See, Tom, I'm already glad I'm in it, because I didn't think of that. Like, it's the one thing that makes his life feel purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's actually doing something.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a whole load of additional commentary to be had on having your job be the thing your life is worth, but
yeah, but that mortality thing, I didn't think of it that hard.
It's like, I mean, someone, yeah, I mean, he just stared down cancer in theory. I mean, I'm sure we don't particularly know for sure yet, but in theory has defeated it because it was caught and, in theory. I don't know. I feel like that kind of makes you start to review your life a bit.
Yeah.
But if you don't like what you see, or if you're afraid to do that review, you go back to where you are familiar and comfortable.
Yeah, and he seems happy for what it's worth. It's not like he's like...
Yeah. Now, that's not to say he's not making it awkward around the office for other people, just sort of hanging around while you're trying to do stuff.
Yeah, right. Because I personally don't like that. Like, if I'm at my desk, I'm not there to chat. Like, I don't do that.
No. Yeah. At my desk, they have put... There were supposed to be 2 sets of cubes. We didn't have enough people. We moved into this new office in January. So to save money, they left out a couple of sections of cubes, one of which happens to be next to my desk. And my boss, in his infinite wisdom, has decided that it would be a great idea to A, put a dartboard there, and B, put this like thing where like there's like a hook, like an eye hook that's sticking out horizontally from the wall, and then there's like a string hanging down from the ceiling a certain amount of distance away that has a ring on it. You've got to you're supposed to swing it and try to nail another thing. Basically, he has turned the area next to my desk into a pub. And so at random intervals during the day, there's just like 2 or 3 guys over there just like throwing darts and having a grand old time. And like there's a conference room right behind them, and they write their scores in marker on the glass wall. I was like, why was this a good idea? Like,
that does seem like it could be annoying.
Oh, it's very annoying. And he put that up and then went on vacation. And
of course.
I'm like, the second you walk back in this office, I'm like,
my thing is we manufacture stuff, and every time there's a job, quote unquote, there's a folder for it. The folder has the engineering drawings and communications with the customer and all that, everything, all the paperwork. And my desk is like the hub for all the active jobs. So like behind me, there's a rack for all the ones that were completed last month. I have a stack of ones that we've completed them, but haven't yet got the invoice for some of the services we paid for, so we don't know the job costing yet. And so long story short, several times throughout the day, there's people like hovering around me, going through the folders. And I've had to adjust to that.
Yeah.
It's like at first I was just like I feel like you're reading on my shoulder, kind of a feeling, that sensation. Like I'm doing my work, but why are you like? He's like, yes, like I'll lean over and let you grab that. Okay, sure. Like I've moved stuff around and made it a little bit better, but
like that, and you don't know if one of them is an assassin.
But, yeah, sure. I won't see it coming if they are.
No,
it's a perfect.
They weren't sent there to end you.
Sure hope not.
Yeah, who can live with that kind of fear?
So my favorite though is when they can't find one.
An assassin?
Do you have job number so? Yeah, assassins. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, I got one right here, just in my pocket. Here you go. I don't have some magic mental thing where I magically know where all the stuff. I don't know.
Oh, but you do.
I'm supposed to. I guess I need to work on that.
So how is having the old kiddaroonies? It's a development,
So having kids is one of those things it's awesome, but it sucks sometimes. Like there's huge swaths of time where the kids are just what you're doing. It's your life. Like you can't do anything. You have to watch the kids. You have to actively monitor your children.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I've had the same conversation with 4 different people recently. So like last week there was this rough day where both the kids were cranky and just trying to make everyone's lives miserable. And so, neither of them are going to bed or not going to sleep. And like the little legend, the 2.5-year-old girl, she's like tugging on the boy baby's arm and he's crying. And, my wife is like, you have to stop doing that. But then, after like an hour of just fighting them and trying to restore the universe to some semblance of order, there was this one moment of just a few seconds where they were laying next to each other and she wrapped his arms around him and she kissed the baby on the cheek and they looked at each other and they smiled. And it was a moment that was so cute and so beautiful, like it just made us smile, it just made everything else seem worth it. And it sounds completely illogical and ridiculous and stupid because the whole hour before that was misery and it was ignorant and just. But for that one, there was no qualms about it. For that one moment, made it all worth it. It sounds so cheesy, but it's just true.
Well, I mean, what you describe as a warm, heart-touching moment, I hear you describing and interpret as them congratulating each other on a job well done.
Co-conspirators, absolutely.
I feel like that was awesome, right? Yes. You can't make a baby fist to fist bump me, so I'm just going to hug you and we'll smile it out. But we nailed it. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing as it pertains to your children.
It's interesting that the boy is 3 months old and we can already tell his personality is different from hers.
Mm-hmm.
Like she used to like being carried up like this.
Yeah.
Like that's how she would fall asleep. But for him, I have to hold him like in a sling out in front of me, facing out.
He's like, you're in my personal space.
Completely different.
So
he's very mellow, smiles very easily. She wasn't like that. She was nice, but not like him. He's just smiley, happy boy.
An interesting.
And he's so fat. Do you know how fat my son is, Tom?
Boy, I'm sure this is a conversation my father's had for many years now.
Just real quick. So our daughter is 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
She wears size 5 diapers. Our son is 3 months old. Wears size 4 diapers.
Oh, one size off and you could share.
He's been out of the womb for, now let me think, 19 weeks. He weighs 20 pounds. He is gaining a pound every week.
He is feeding him those deep dish pizzas, or what's...
By the end of the year, he's going to be a 75-pound 9-month-old.
Jeez,
he's gonna weigh 300 pounds by the time he's just a little over 4. When he can be 1,000 pounds when he's 11. At this rate.
Mean, he might have a future in wrestling.
The most emasculating thing I've ever experienced in my life is when I'm holding him and I realize his thighs are this big around. His thighs are bigger around than my arms are.
Like, does he need a diet or do I need the gym? I don't.
What do you do with that? And to be clear,
you don't anger him. That's what you do.
To be clear, we wanted to keep him in smaller diapers, but he kept overflowing them with his green liquid baby poop.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That's his hobby. His hobby is to poop on me.
I mean, as far as hobbies
you might
go,
hear him crying right now.
I do.
Yeah. So yeah, he likes to poop on us. People warn me because he's a boy. They're like, "Oh yeah, he might pee on you. Like, be careful when you're changing his diaper." I've never seen him pee. But I've seen poop overflow his clothing onto me. I've seen that 3 times. I'm sorry, this is disgusting.
Do you become numb to it eventually, you think?
Well,
it's like, I think there's poop on me again. Whatever.
Yeah, actually, honestly, yeah. The moment he was born, you're just numb to it all.
You know what's interesting for me with your children is I am privileged enough to know their actual real names.
Yeah.
But in order to not slip up and accidentally say them, which is against the Nintendo Legend policies, I have to convince myself that I don't know their names. Because every once in a while, I want to say, "Oh,
yep.
something." when Molly posts a picture or something.
Yeah, because we have gotten more relaxed about it. Because like Molly's name's on Twitter now, so I'm sure the kids will follow eventually. But they're still.
That was a very long time.
It was, yeah.
Just Mrs. Legend.
Yep.
Yep.
No longer content to be in the shadow.
The last time I saw you both in person, she was pregnant with baby one.
Right. It's been that long. But
not very pregnant.
Right. It was like we had to like tell people like she's pregnant.
Yeah, it was like we haven't said anything. Like, it was that level.
Yep. Top secret. Code red. If you tell anyone, I will shank you in your sleep.
Yep.
And here we are. Yeah.
Yeah. All this time later, and you're covered in poo.
Yeah.
I mean,
life is deep, man. Sometimes just deep in poo.
I was going to say it's a good metaphor. If you're not covered in it physically, you're possibly covered in it in other ways.
Yeah.
So you got to tell some people they're getting money today.
Yeah, I did. That's been a fun, intense experience.
But you got to tell a lot more people that they weren't getting money.
I got to tell, I think it was 31 people that no, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah.
So that was intense. Good experience, though. Like, I'm happy to do it.
I kind of regret not taking the time to send you a bunch of spam entries.
I would have enjoyed it.
The one that used your work as the example would probably have been my favorite.
Yeah. It is interesting. I had 2 people for their portfolio or their previous work. 2 people have used reviews from Review a Great Game Day.
Mm-hmm.
One of them knowing I was involved, and one of them I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun.
You're welcome, you people who did that.
Yeah. Way to go, Tom.
I mean, it depends what year. Like, the last year is the one where I was really
all about it.
Yeah, I was like, it must live. No, actually, did we get to game? Oh yeah, no. Review a Bad Game Day was August. Review a Great Game Day was April, I think.
That's right. Have you seen what the Retro Critic is up to?
No.
He is
critiquing retro things.
He is doing that, actually. He is taking it upon himself to revive Review a Bad Game Day. So he's just taking control of it this year. He's like, I'm doing it.
I did see one of those pass through.
That's a thing.
Yeah, good.
That's
Let
fun.
it take the torch. Run with it.
That's all yours. Go ahead.
I like sometimes sitting here from my, I guess, director's chair, or I don't know where grizzled retired veterans sit. My rocking chair in front of the nursing home. In my day, when we ran,
it's a really nice nursing home.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
Or just even anything. When I want people to get better at making me want to consume their content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the thing people do the worst job of, I think.
Yeah, I have to be careful because I'm talking about real people. But the one rejection that's been the most interesting so far was I've had a few people ask, okay, no problem, thank you. Like, they were polite.
Right.
But they said, can I have some feedback?
Okay.
And I could have said no, like, I don't have an obligation to.
No.
But it's been a challenge I've taken personally to try and explain very pleasantly, like, how you weren't good enough. Like, how do you do that? It's like, I told one of them, like, your idea is fine, but it's just not rising to the top of the heap. It's not compelling. There's not a human element. It's a little dry. Then I'm like, oh, am I being mean? No, I'm just being honest. But it's
No,
new for me.
not
It's
mean.
new.
I think mean would be like, yeah, reading your pitch gave me diarrhea. Like, and then a little of it got on my thumb, and it was at that moment that I knew.
I rejected your pitch because I felt stupider reading it.
Yeah.
And I think you're a terrible person, and the world would be better off if you just stopped creatively endeavoring altogether.
Yeah. The second I finished reading your piece, I forgot how to do math. That's. No, has anyone reacted to their rejection adversely?
No, not yet. Because the problem is,
you son of a bitch.
No, the weird thing is, like the pitches were all so good. Like, I know it sounds kind of weird, but there wasn't any like obviously awful one. Like
I would have expected you to get some golden ones because it's just so far and few between to find opportunities for actual dollar monies.
Yeah, for this
writing
kind
about
of
old video games. I mean, it's hard enough.
Right.
I've writing about current video game things.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very fun, very cool experience.
I'm still waiting for those One More Castle checks, but I mean,
one of these days,
whenever they're coming through, I'm sure they're in the mail or whatever. But it's no big deal. Just whenever.
Yeah, at the rate the One More Castle YouTube channel is going, I will pay you. It'll be about 7 cents in the year 2720. So don't spend it all in one place, Tom. I know you're excited.
Who knows what it could be worth by then? I mean, it could even be worth 7 cents. Maybe it could be like we watched the Book of Eli this weekend.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
That just happened to be on, and Allison had never seen it before. I was like, oh, I enjoy that movie personally. Cool. But I'm thinking now in my head that maybe that's what the world would look like then.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's 7 cents. Crazy.
We have Tom. We have a chat room question. I would love to see you tackle. Mike is asking. So, is Eric a game journalist or?
Definitely or.
Done. Next question.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, journalist. Like, if you occasionally write about old video games, you occasionally review one, or you even occasionally dissect one, you're not necessarily journalist per se. If you are out breaking stories or doing journalistic work, investigating some things and reviewing people, that's more journalistic, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's an elitist view of journalism.
No, I agree. I don't feel comfortable using the word journalist unless you're doing your own original reporting.
Yeah.
So I think in the past 7 years, there's been flashes of moments where I did that.
Yeah, I mean, you've had some good interviews.
Yeah. I got to break the news. Like, the one exclusive news story I ever broke on One More Castle was when Wisdom Tree re-released Super Noah's Ark.
Really? Like some front page headlines.
Let's see if it's still there. Let's see. Wisdom Tree, Super Noah's Ark, One More Castle. Yeah, the woman who owned Wisdom Tree, she was just Googling retro gaming news or whatever and found us and emailed me. And I was like, heck yeah. So,
sure, why not? As opposed to the... I don't know how many people know this. If you've never run a website, but when you start running a website, I ran a couple, and I'm sure you got these emails all the time too. It was like, hey, why don't you put up this sponsored content? We just want you to link to our casino site.
Oh, yeah.
But the link could be like, it's $100 to completely invalidate any credibility your website will have for the rest of forever. Like, Why?
I've done it. I'm throwing that out there.
Did you do that on the castle?
Never on the castle, no.
Yeah, see? It was a castle.
The castle is kept pristine.
I had this vision. One couple of the sites I ran was like, I might make money at this one day, but it's never going to be from this garbage.
If I'm going to do it,
I would rather not make money and then leave all jaded than I could.
You're supposed to do it, yeah.
I probably should have took the money. Here's the one thing I ever made money on: the first episode of The Hallway.
Yeah.
That solo podcast I did 9 episodes of. Someone sponsored it for $20.
Nice.
I don't even remember what he did. It was some kind of game guides or something. And he had no parameters except just, mention my website, I guess. Sure.
Yeah.
For 20. He's like, just do it once. I was like, no, for $20. I'll do 2 or 3 times. It's a half hour, man.
I think on One More Castle, we had one ad we managed to sell $60 for 6 months.
Ooh.
And I love Andrew, but he made them fill out this 4-page contract thing over this.
That's very
explicitly professional. Don't get me wrong. Very well done. Very professional. But I was like, this is a little above who we are.
He was wearing a suit when he wrote it.
I understand wanting to seem authentic, but yeah, it's just funny.
Well, and then was what he wrote legal? Because now we're talking about 2 different countries. He's in Canada. He's writing, whose laws is he writing those?
We used to call those champagne problems. It's until we're popping champagne from all the money we're making, we're just not going to worry about it.
Well, I guess
I have this game here. It's Thor, God of Thunder on the Nintendo DS.
And how is that?
Well, I haven't played it yet.
Oh.
But I've been sitting on an exclusive scoop for a year and a half. This is my worldwide first time I'm mentioning this, but the developer, one member of their team, contacted me when Skirmish Frogs launched.
Yeah.
This is a great story that nobody will hear outside of this.
8 people, and two of them are us. So.
Yeah, until I play it. But apparently, if you go to the Cutting Room Floor, which is a website that finds stuff left out of video games, the Cutting Room Floor has found artwork of a sprite in this game of Frog Thor, who actually was a character in the comics, his funny version of Thor. And the Cutting Room Floor, the website, has only seen the still image. Well, I am now the one person in the world who knows how to access him as a playable character.
Oh, wow. Let's see, that's some journalism.
So someday, I should. This is a year and a half I've just been sitting on this. I should actually play it and record video of me playing as Frog Thor.
Yeah.
I haven't got around to it yet. So
I mean, Frog Thor could become your whole thing.
Sure.
You could change the logo.
I mean, I already have Nintendo in my name for one site. Why not get on Marvel's bad side too?
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo didn't seem to mind, which is weird since
they
really enjoy shutting down fan projects.
Yeah. I have the weirdest relationship with Nintendo. It's like I crashed a party at someone else's house. And every hour, the host, the rich, snobby, preppy guy, he notices me from across the room. And he just kind of glares at me.
You're not supposed to be here.
Then And he just kind of goes like, just kind of nods like, all right, man. That's about it.
Let's send him a cease and desist? Nah. I mean, is he doing anything? No.
Let's send him some Pokemon toys for review. Okay, well, everyone made fun of him for toy reviews and made sex toy jokes endlessly, so let's not do that anymore.
I mean,
let's invite him to the Wii U preview event, even though he's not a Nintendo Club member. Okay, that was fun. It's weird. I don't know. I'm waiting. One day it's going to end. Like, I'm going to get that letter. They're going to tell me to stop.
We have more important things to do. Don't worry about him. We've got a lot of things to underproduce.
we have a whole task force, 7 employees dedicated to forming a committee to come up with the worst names for our products possible.
I like to imagine there's one guy standing at the end of the assembly line for everything they make. And he's counting, and he's got a clipboard, and he just holds up his hand. He goes, "That's enough. That's it. That's enough. Stop."
3. You made 3. Too many.
Everyone, take the rest of the day off. You will be paid for the rest of the day. It's okay. We're literally made of money.
Can you imagine this like manufacturing plant? It's the size of 4 football fields. Interior, like 100 banks of machines going through complex operations to assemble 600 different pieces of some of the world's most precision engineered electronic equipment. And it takes 4 days for a single cycle to complete for 1 unit. The whole thing churns for hours. It pops out 3 SNES classics. And the foreman takes his hard hat off and he puts it over his chest, over his heart. And he salutes the machines and he points to the enormous, comically, exaggeratedly large switch on the wall. And he says, "Well, boys, shut her down."
No, they have to flip it. And it makes that powering down noise. I would also have liked to have been in the production meeting for that SNES Classic. So what can we improve on from the NES Classic? Like, well, could we add the possibility of downloading market? No. Okay, could we maybe up the production for it a little? No. What's another thing? They thought the controller cord was too short. Oh, let's make it like 2 feet longer.
Yeah, it was 3 feet. Let's make it 5. Sir,
okay.
that's actually no.
Should we maybe not have cord? Okay, again, no. You're talking about champagne problems. But sir, we have more. Who invited him to this meeting?
Nintendo is a company where I wonder if the people who work on the games like have to deal with a crisis of consciousness every day because they know they're doing the great work, and upstairs are people who have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I feel like that happens in so many companies, games, and not.
True. Yeah.
Does anyone have any idea what's going on? Nah.
No.
Nah.
Well, just keep at it. Okay.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. So yeah, man. This might well become the last thing I ever do.
Never.
That's kind of crazy to think of, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the waning moments of my online existence as it pertains to any manner of media whatsoever. It could be the end.
It's because your swan song.
Could be.
Your tuna tune.
Ooh.
Your mackerel melody.
Do
this is your kangaroo chorus.
Departure ditty.
Your dingo ditty.
I will thank you to leave my dingo ditty out of this. I will It's none of your concern, sir.
If you're gonna go out, that's how you go out on top, right there.
Yeah, that's it. But it's yeah. So I don't even. I would say I'm trying to think of the last time I actually played a retro video game. At this point,
okay.
It's
been a couple weeks for me.
I cannot think of one.
Fair enough.
The last time.
Do you still play a lot of Minecraft?
I play an exorbitant amount of Minecraft.
Okay, so when you say exorbitant, what do you mean?
I have 3 active worlds and 3 different versions of the game going right now.
Okay.
I have a modded world. I have a vanilla world on Windows 10, and I have a vanilla world that I'm playing with Allison on the Xbox One.
Okay.
So I get hot and cold streaks. If I find a mod pack to play, I will be into that thing for 80, 90 hours. I mean, not in a row.
Nice.
Not that I couldn't do it in a row. Each one provides its own set of logic puzzles for me.
Okay.
Figuring out how to make this thing more efficient I don't know. It has actually made me better at my own job.
Oh, really?
Because it has changed the way I think about things and approach things. It's taught me how to break things down into linear pieces.
That's really cool, Megazord. I'm glad to hear that.
I need to get to X. I used to try to eat the whole elephant in one bite, you know?
Yeah.
But getting to these little pieces, having to craft X in order to craft Y, but my real goal is figuring out how to mass produce Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about the optimal pathway.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking a bigger picture in order to make the little picture even better.
Yeah. A lot of people.
I don't think I am insightful enough to recognize how video games affect my work, because they probably do. I don't know.
Yeah. I hadn't noticed. But yeah, just one day I started being like, I'm starting to think about this the same way I think about your normal out of the box vanilla experience in Minecraft is one thing. When you get into mods, they start to add stuff like power and like machine processing, and they add a whole lot of different materials to it and stuff. Like just figuring all of that stuff out, how to wire all of this out, how to make it so I don't have to touch anything. I could stand in the middle of my base and the whole thing's running itself. When I get to that point, it's a great moment.
See, that sounds a lot better than people who spend like 400 hours making like a 7-to-1 reduction of the Eiffel Tower or something like that. That's
cool too. I mean, some people prefer the artistic building things side. I'm more of a technical.
That's cool.
I like function over form.
Yeah, because like the Eiffel Tower thing, like I can look at it and be like, okay, that is certainly a feat, but I can't imagine enjoying doing it. That's just me. I think it's supposed to do, I guess.
I can see how it's enjoyable. It's not enjoyable to me. I
am going to apply some cake batter chapstick.
I didn't know they made that stuff.
It's pretty good. Huh. It tastes like cake batter.
I mean, as long as they don't go crazy. Like Oreo, like a few years back, had like one special flavor. Well, no, I tell you what, actually, it started with, hey, what if some of these cookies had the yellow cookies instead of the chocolate cookies? Cool. Then the next thing you know, it's like, what if some of these cookies had chocolate frosting instead of the white frosting? Yeah, all right. Next thing you know, it's like, here's watermelon. This one's bubblegum. This year there was peach flavored. There's mint. There's thin ones. There's thicker ones. There's fat ones. There's more thin ones. There's pumpkin ones.
What was that? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Enough. No, stop. Just stop right there.
I think it happened 5 or 6 years ago. there must have been some kind of breakthrough on like a legal level or like some like scientific breakthrough, but I feel like all the companies did that. Like every candy suddenly had like 8 versions now. It's
So
like
there was like
M&M's had that run where M&M's, they had a pumpkin spice M&M, they had like a chipotle pepper M&M, like it was spicy. Like they had all these weird ones. Like
I remember that now.
that's fine. Like, you can try them, but
it's reminiscent of the cranberries. Like that kind of occurred early 2000s, where all of a sudden every juice was prefixed with cran.
yeah,
Cran apple, cran grape, and yeah.
Then pomegranate was big.
Yeah. The acai berry.
Oh yes, it's a super berry, don't you know? Antioxidants and all.
Does it have omega-3?
Oh, that's a fatty acid. You can get that in fish oil.
Well, I mean, I've tried omegas 1 and 2, and they just don't do it for me. I need 3.
No, I'm going all the way for omega-4.
They haven't made that one yet.
What?
Like, the human body isn't ready to consume omega-4.
We have to await the next stage of evolution. With this mutation, we'll accept it.
Not soon. Yeah, was it around the same time that M&M's started? I don't know, but KFC started off that fast food arms race. That's another similar thing where they're like, they started with the bowl, and then they were like, we're going to make a sandwich where the bread is just chicken.
I had one. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
I had one. It tasted like shame.
Nice. Hey, Tom, would you like to play a quick game?
Would you like to play a game?
Would you like to play? You go ahead and keep ranting about food for like 30 seconds.
Do you have
and act like I'm still here. I'm going to check on the wife and kid for a moment.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure why he's been crying for so long, so I'll be right back.
All right. Looks like it's me and you, chat room. I'm going to rant about food, I guess. Anyhow, KFC did the sandwich with the chicken for bread. Then Pizza Hut started stuffing crazy shit into their crusts. Like, here, have some hot dogs. Here, we know you had this kind of cheese, but here, have some cheddar. Now, I tell you what, we're going to take out the cheddar. We're going to put in more mozzarella and bacon, which actually that was really good. And Taco Bell was like, let's get in on that. And like, they've taken the ball and run with it. First, they were like, we're going to turn our taco shells into Doritos, and then we're going to turn them into more different Doritos, and then we're going to start wrapping shit around other shit, and we're going to stick it together with cheese, and it'll be fine. You'll love it. And, then they made chicken chips that are just chicken nuggets but triangles. And then, what was that other thing they did? They claimed to combine the taco and the burrito, but all they did was make a burrito with corn chips in it. Yeah. And so anyway.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
So that is my secret formula for the family recipe.
Cool. That's great. Yeah.
I see the tiniest of large fat Bailey
Bagels. Yeah, so he is just fussy, and his mom had to go to the bathroom. Like, how dare she?
So well, I mean, that's pretty.
So he's gonna hang out with me. Let's see if we can get. Can you say hi?
Maybe he likes Megazord.
What is that? What is that?
Hello. I don't know why I'm waving, knowing that the camera can't see me. Look, I'm waving at a baby that can't possibly see me. Or hear me. I'm actually speaking to a baby that can't hear me.
Look at this. This kid is enormous. Like, his head's like... I guess that was a little optical. It looked bigger than mine for a moment, but...
You're like 17 feet tall, so it's not completely unprecedented. I have met Bailey in real life. He is very large.
Yeah.
I mean, he's tall. I would say large. Make assumptions or accusations.
I have given Tom Hall a sensual hug.
Mm-hmm. It was very sensual.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep. Actually,
kind of awkward because the only way I know how.
Out of the Bailey clan, it's really Valerie that's the hugger.
Oh yeah, she is like a spine breaker.
She's a great hugger. She hugs it up real nice.
She does.
I have Yeah, actually, your mom and Valerie picked me up from the airport on that trip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, I remember this.
He is almost standing up. He's not supposed to be able to stand up yet, but he can almost like. Okay, not quite.
No, when you let him go, he starts to look drunk. He starts. Oh, you've had too much. You've had too much. We're gonna have to cut you off, buddy.
Yeah, he's a drunk, but we like him. I guess every family has one of those.
I mean, there's a very fine line between baby toddler and homeless drunk.
Can you walk a straight line? No, I can't. No.
They use the restroom in their own pants. They have their erratic emotional outbursts.
They cry for seemingly no reason. They definitely can't say the alphabet backwards.
They beg you for food.
They should not be operating heavy machinery.
They don't have jobs.
They tend to lash out against those closest to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you? Yeah. Oh, are you going to talk now? Is
that it?
Yeah, I guess so. He's going to drool a little bit. So let's take care of that. Let's get that. Yeah, there you go. You're on camera now. Yeah, look good, dude.
I mean, you're killing our aesthetic, kid, because we had this thing, generic TOMmentary, but we don't. And how do you generic TOMmentary plus baby?
Yeah, that doesn't work. You're ruining everything. You're a big ruiner.
Literally, just a big ruiner. Really big. Emphasis on big. So big.
So big.
Just be like, yeah, big. Now let me shove my son's crotch into the camera.
As one does. There's just not a convenient spot to put them.
What you need is a baby shelf in your office. Oh man, we have all the makings of a sitcom right now.
We do. I just realized I forgot to bring the burp rag up with me. So
I was gonna say, like a bib or.
This is a dangerous situation.
Yeah, you're playing with fire right now.
Spew up chunks of rancid milk here any moment, and I just would have to sop it up with my shirt. He's excited about it.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to stop the show if that happens. Remember, we only have 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, that's right. YouTube told me you can only record for 8 hours. So new game. Talk about anything but the baby.
All right.
Let's see here.
How about that? Not baby.
So gross. So gross. Get you off camera.
Not pictured. Baby. You just see his little eyes now, so it's just like soon. Soon.
There it is. Soon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how about those local sports teams?
Yeah. Well, actually, most of your local hockey team has become my local hockey team via some. Yeah. We've just acquired all of the pieces.
You just grabbed the mic cord. He's going to yank it off the desk any moment now. Let go. Jeez, fricker. Come on.
Basically, the Blackhawks got really bad at math and forgot there was a salary cap. And so we just kept taking the players.
They decided that Patrick Sharp was worth returning, though.
Yeah, that's great. As long as you keep Kane to yourselves, I don't want him. He's all yours. But it's like, that's all cool. It's a very different fan environment here than it was in Tampa.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In a good way, though. It seems like you've had a positive experience.
Mostly. Okay. I say that. The people are great. Your finger's a microphone. Yeah. No, the people are great. They were my first friends here. They're actually still pretty much my only friends here.
Cool.
A lot of them just get into this armchair GM mode, like,
oh sure,
it's like elevated to such a degree like I've never seen before. It's kind of off-putting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like they like some of them have this laundry list of things they are like decreeing must happen or should happen or will happen.
These are our demands.
They just have this weird behavior, and they like everything is, well, we haven't made the playoffs in 8 years. I know. I understand that. Trust me. I've been a Buccaneers fan my whole life. I know what not making the playoffs feels like. But it's like that doesn't mean that you suddenly have some sort of omnipotent power to be able to decree what will change that. Like it's it's like, because if you could, you would be in the front office. But you're not, because you don't.
You know, I will play devil's advocate, though. I do look at the decisions some teams make, and I can't comprehend what they're doing. Who's to say that my decision wouldn't be better?
The odds.
There's always a reason they do what they do. There's something.
Let's see. Person who has been around the sport their entire life, like literally involved in it, and has deep, intricate knowledge of front office strategies and all that thing, or guy who attends 10 home games a year and watches the rest on TV sometimes if there's not something better on. And, like, reads a couple of websites or popular blogs about and regurgitates that information as his own. Like, someone
we can
here.
Listen to the analyst, or we could listen to Gary.
Yeah, yeah. Because Gary here has a high school diploma and he doesn't have to take shit from anybody. Like, it's just how it comes off.
Gary just was my house last week.
It's like they're so well intentioned. I'm just like, dude, you have a role here, and it's to be a fan, and you're way overstepping.
Oh, interesting. I can think of some other realms of popular culture, perhaps, where that same
every realm,
like entitlement, applies. That's really interesting.
Thankfully, no one's decried censorship.
Oh, never. Yeah.
We're just going to talk like he's not there. He's not there, folks.
We're really trying. Let's see. Humorous anecdotes. Something funny that's happened lately. Not about the kids.
Did I tell you about my whole experience with getting these new glasses recently?
Oh no, do tell. New glasses story.
Oh, I didn't. Oh my.
No,
oh,
this I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, this is just a treat then.
Good.
So I hadn't gotten new glasses, I don't know, maybe 2 years. I decided I'm going to use my yearly insurance allotment for this. So I have 2 pairs that I wear. I have a daily pair. And goodbye, baby Bailey.
Yeah. See ya. Best co-host ever.
Yeah.
Or worst. Not sure which.
Now he's gone and we're down to 3 viewers.
No. You didn't cry once. Spit up a little though. So.
Hi, Molly.
Tom says hi. Tom says hi.
Hello, Tom.
Oh yeah, I'm still waving even though the camera can't see me.
Oh,
it's like I don't know. It's like a
Good night, Tom.
My wife bids you good night.
Ah. Oh, bids you good night. I thought you said my wife bazooka night. I was like, I don't know what the hell that means, but bazooka night to you too.
My wife bazooka night.
I was like, is that the password to get into the speakeasy? How does that work?
I'm not going to think about that one too hard.
So yeah, so glasses.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry.
I have a normal,
no.
regular looking around pair, and then a computer pair. The computer pair is like a weaker prescription because something causing headaches, something. Anyhow, so I go and I do the whole thing and get my prescription, whatever. And I'm like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, it'll be like 2 weeks and whatever. So they actually call in 1 week. Like, your glasses are ready. I'm like, oh, this is great. This place is awesome. And I go in and I put them on. And I was like, these aren't right. I'm like, this is worse. This is bad. I'm like I look down the hallway and there's like some signs over some rooms, like in order 1, 2, 3 as to what room does what or whatever. I was like, I can't read that far sign, and then I go put back my old pair on. It's like, and now I can read it. And like, instead of like being like, I should check on that, the lady goes, yep, nope, that happens sometimes when as you get older, and we have to dial the prescription back a little in order to adjust properly. And it shows this whole thing about how I'm getting old, basically. She's like, just keep them for a week. Try them out. You'll adjust to them. And nothing you're saying is adding up, but so I'll try it, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm driving home and I can't read signs. I was like, this is not good.
But to be clear, you have another pair that you can clearly put on and see through fine, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's crazy. Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I'm like, I come home and I'm like just thinking on it. I'm like, this is making sense. She goes, you know what? Go home and watch a movie. She specifically said, she's like, you'll see once you're watching a movie. I was like, what? Like, your name tag says licensed technician. So I go home and I start playing something on the computer. That's like 2 hours later.
Jeez.
My phone rings.
Oh no.
It's like, I went and pulled your prescription and we accidentally ordered you the computer pair instead of the regular pair. It's like, yeah, so I would stop wearing those if I were you. And we're going to reorder them for you. I was like, I was furious.
Everything that lady told you was BS.
I was like, you could have spent 3 minutes to verify or to just double check. Did we order the right thing? Because he clearly shouldn't be seeing worse with the brand new pair of glasses. That seems like the opposite thing he's paying us for. But instead, she went on a 10-minute diatribe about how I'm getting old.
Can I tell you a story about how a lack of verification led to headaches?
Oh, yes, you can.
Just today at work. Today is a Friday. On Fridays, I usually leave at 1. It's nice. Well, I knew I was going to be late. Texted my wife, I'm going to be a little bit late. That was fine. Whatever. She asked me, hey, what made you late today? Here's what happened. One of our customers has a plant in Argentina. And whenever we ship parts to them, so we make the parts in the shop, we sell them the parts, we have to include invoices with the shipment in order to declare their value for customs.
Right.
But in Argentina specifically, the plant there has to verify with the government the value of the products before we send the invoice. And if they don't match, the government thinks we're doing something screwy and doesn't allow it. I don't fully understand the process. But here's the important part. Shipments, normally when we're making metal parts. They take hours, there's man hours involved, machine wear, diamond wheels get worn down. Normally a part is like hundreds of dollars, maybe even a few thousand for like a part. And we were sending them several parts that go together. So these line items, it's like, 5 of this piece at $300 each, 6 of this piece at $200 each, 2 of these guys, and they're each $1,200. At the bottom of the invoice, 4 of these little plastic thingies that we make, $4.75 each. No, they told the Argentinian government that they were $4 a piece.
Oh.
So because the price was 75 cents off, I had to redo all the invoices.
At that point, do you have to resend the shipment? Like, does the shipment come back to you, and then you have to send it again?
It just kind of stays in a holding pattern. They don't send it back. But I had to stay late at work and redo invoices over 75 cents.
That's infuriating.
I wasn't furious, but I was just kind of like, okay, it's not my fault. I'm the one fixing it. I'm not the one that anyone's mad at. So fine, I'll be that guy. But yeah, 75 cents. The whole order, thousands of dollars, but it's the 75 cents here at the bottom.
Like, yeah, this all checks out. So let's see. 1,300, 300, 1,300. Wait a minute.
$4.
This doesn't match. Yeah. This doesn't match at all. I wonder how.
Argentinian governments. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like if I was building a bridge or something, and like something was 3/4 of an inch off. Okay, well that could cause a bunch of cars to fall into a river.
Right.
Yeah.
And like we literally don't care. Like we just change the price to $4. Like you can keep the 75 cents. We'll call it
right.
Yeah.
That's booty, son.
So that's what I'm gonna get out of our whole conversation. That verification is valuable.
Well, I mean,
trust but verify.
Most of what I do is verification.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should do more of it.
Verification and breaking. I break something. They say they fixed it. I verify that they probably did not.
Nice.
I'm of the opinion that nothing works ever.
It's probably true. We're all just living in a nightmare that no one's acknowledging yet.
Most of the time, I'm right.
Hey, this is broken. Oh my gosh, Tom's correct.
I broke some great stuff this week. Our software is for remote support. Is the idea. So like your gym IT in Chicago, but your client is in Florida or Argentina or wherever, you can connect in and see what's going on their desktop and that kind of stuff. But I found some stuff this week that was just like, there's one where like if you've got multiple monitors, the like Windows identifies the monitors, cool, and then we identify them in a different order, which. So, like, if I only want to see monitor 1, I'm not seeing monitor 1. I'm seeing this, and then there's a setting you can change to where you can blank the monitor that you're connecting into, so your customer can't see what you're doing. I don't know how cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. And then if you do that, it like flips all the orders of the monitors around again.
I'm totally fixing your problem, dude. Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. Why do I hear porn noises? Don't worry about it. It's cool.
It won't take long at all.
That sounds very filthy, whatever you're watching.
What do you mean whatever you're watching?
Actually, That's another funny thing is,
Oh no!
and the actual interface where everything is connected from, we take a screenshot of the desktop, and it's just in a little. There's like a little panel on the side that has some information, the IP address, what OS are they running, some basic hardware information, and a current desktop screenshot. But like some people don't disconnect properly from their session, and you'll just look sometimes on supports on our support department's instance, and you'll just see a screenshot that's like, oh, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
nice! Oh wow!
whoa, aren't you at work? What is this? What am I looking? Why? It doesn't happen often, but it's always very noteworthy when it does.
Yeah, the one time someone at my workplace was caught watching porn, he got fired for it.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
So
Fire.
That seemed like a pretty standard, cut and dry.
It's a reasonable response.
Yeah, that's not really your job.
What if it was your job? Like, what is it you need me to do here? Yeah, your job is to watch porn. Wait, why?
Actually, I saw recently one of the major porn sites, I guess, was looking for programmers, like to upgrade their whatever.
Okay.
And so they have a job listing online. It's legitimate. And so it's listing like necessary skills, like, all this different stuff. And they got a comment on there, and someone was saying, I would love to apply, but I wouldn't know what to tell my family about what I do. And the porn site replied to them something. I'm going to butcher this because I don't know programming stuff, but basically the cleverness was they replied, yeah, we wouldn't want to tell our families we work with SQL either.
Oh, but I like SQL.
Well, it was funny.
That is funny, though. I mean,
there's a job for everything.
Most.
When I was a teenager, I wanted to sleep for a living, and then I realized I could probably be a mattress evaluator.
Yeah.
There has to be someone. There has to be a human that decides this is sleepable. No, this one sucks.
I don't know that there is anymore. I think now it's machine-based.
No, there has to be a person that sleeps on it at some point.
Nope.
No?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, maybe, but I would think most of the testing is longevity. So there's one machine that just presses on the mattress with the equal force to, 2 human bodies. Average.
I like how you make everything sound dirty. Everything, Tom. Jeez.
I mean, if you're just already thinking about dirty things, then I guess everything sounds dirty.
I guess, we're talking about wear and tear on a mattress. There's only so many things.
I'm just talking about sleeping.
Oh.
I mean, although, to be fair, if you were making a mattress, you would probably want to ensure that it could withstand some solid woohoo. Use SimSpeak.
Are you familiar with Key and Peele, the comedy duo?
I am. I know of them.
They have a skit about that.
About being a mattress tester for such things?
Not a tester, just a normal everyday customer at a mattress place. So he walks in, and he's just like this mild-mannered, normal-looking man. They're like, yeah, welcome to so and so. Like we probably have a mattress for you. You want to try one out? He's like, just kind of very quietly nods. He lays on the bed, and suddenly just starts violently thrusting up and down, and yelling these really weird things. Not even normal dirty talk, but something that's clearly his own strange dirty talk. And he's just thrusting and yelling.
Mop that floor.
Right? He just stops. He kind of nods, and the salesman's like, Then there's this one. He does it 3 or 4 times in a row. It's great. It's great.
Man, that reminds me. And stay with me here. Back when I worked at Lowe's, I worked in plumbing for a while.
Okay.
Actually, I worked all around that store for a bit, but I distinctly remember one time this old guy coming in. And he was interested in toilets. And he was like, I need something with a powerful flush because my stool is like a grenade. Like, it's very small and compact. And, like, he started to go into all this detail. Like, why are you telling me this? I don't need to know.
Do you think he was sincere, or do you think he someone put him up to that? Do you think it was completely? Yeah, that's funny.
He was at the point of his life I aspire to be at someday, where just literally will say anything to anyone. I don't give a shit. Where, you have any idea the kind of things I've seen in my life? What do I care if some part-time doofus in Lowe's judges me? What if I will also say there's nothing in life that will ever prepare you. I also worked in paint for a while, and there's nothing that will prepare you for the first time somebody calls and asks you for information on your black cock.
So this isn't quite the same, but we're talking about, like, when someone says something so outlandish, it takes every ounce of willpower to keep your composure. I used to work at a summer camp / retreat center. So very outdoorsy. There's cabins you can stay in, and there's this, like, groups come in and do stuff. There's a ropes course and a climbing wall. Long story short, had a group staying one week. And the woman walks out of her cabin and walks up the walking path all the way up to the office in her heels, comes into the office, agitated to no end. And I'm not making this up. She was complaining vehemently because there was a stick on the sidewalk.
Well, I mean...
And I worked there for 5 years, and normally I'm all about improvisation. I know what to say. I can diffuse a situation. Yeah. That was the one time I just kind of had to breathe deep, and it took everything I had not to say something like, we can't turn the trees off. Like, you're literally surrounded by 1,000 trees. Like, ma'am, where do you believe that sticks come from? When you decided on our site for your overnight retreat for your group, if it was important to be indoors, they have hotels for that. I don't know what to, like.
Have you been to other campsites where sticks weren't so prevalent?
Yeah. No, like, literally, like, have you ever been, any other campsite ever?
Have you ever gone,
sticks.
What do they call it, outside?
Yeah. I ended up telling her, I said, oh, we'll have someone take care of that. No problem. And luckily, she never came back. I got lucky.
Yeah, I'm like, what happened? She comes back in like 10 minutes. That stick is still on the sidewalk.
Well, okay, ma'am, let me walk with you. We'll take care of the stick together. I'm sorry, Tom. I have one more. This is a phone call we got at that place.
The same campsite? Okay.
But it's not traditional. It's not like you set up a tent. Like, we have structures for you to stay in.
I've been to places like this.
Yeah. So we had, every once in a while, someone would call and they would ask if we had any sites for an RV or a camper. 99 times out of 100, I would say, no, we're not that kind of campground. We don't. I'm sorry. I can refer you to 3 different places nearby. But one time, someone called. He asked if we had a site for an RV that weekend. And I said, you know what, sir, I'm sorry, but we're actually not that kind of campground. We have cabins. We're kind of a retreat center. And this is what he says to me, Tom. He says to me, but your website doesn't say that you're not that kind of campground. I'm like, okay. It doesn't say we're not a veterinarian's office either. Are you going to bring your cat in for a shot? Like, our website doesn't say that we're not a crematorium. Do we need to burn any bodies for you while you're here? Like,
I'm like, well, sir, I'm here, and I can tell you there's no place.
who has that kind of logic?
You didn't specifically tell me all of the things you don't do.
Yeah, like, what? I can't go there in my mind. I can't imagine thinking that way about things. I can't.
This almost, yeah. He's never going to see this.
Well, Mr. Lottery Operator, you never said that I didn't win.
So,
yes,
my father, of which there are many stories, but let's just go with this one. Actually, let's go with two of them. They both relate to hot dogs.
Yeah.
You see, I'll start with the first one. He has a legitimate gripe, but he's held on to this grudge for so long that now it's a noteworthy story. Like, this has probably been 6 or 7 years now. Okay. And this actually has come back up recently because commercials have surfaced that remind me of this. One time, he went on National Hot Dog Day to Sonic to get a hot dog at 11:30 in the morning, and they were out of hot dogs at 11:30 in the morning on National Hot Dog Day.
Come on.
And they told him to come back the next day. All right, sure, okay, yeah, that's you have a case. That's dumb and frustrating. And how does that happen? But to this day, if one of their commercials comes on and you're at the house, he launches into this rant about them. And I meant, like, not just your normal run-of-the-mill rant. Like, it's vulgar. Like, this hurt him deeply. Like, the betrayal in his voice is such. Like, I can't describe how amusing it is to me.
I believe it.
There's another hot dog story with that poor man. There
poor
was
guy.
There was
just wants a hot dog.
Like a mom and pop-ish place in Tampa, and they live like an hour or 45 minutes or so north of Tampa. So Tampa wasn't a normal trip. There have been times where my mom or my grandmother, while she was still alive, needed to spend some time in one of the hospitals down there. He'd spent more time in Tampa at that point. But every time he'd come, he'd go to this one little mom and pop hot dog place. So one day, I had driven past there for some reason, and I noticed it was closed. Like, not just like it wasn't open that day; it was gone. They'd left. And so the next time I went up there, I was like, "Oh man, I meant to tell you, Frankie's closed." What? No. I'm like, no. I was like, that hot dog place. You're like, it looks like they closed up. Bullshit. What? Like, there's no way. I'm like, what do you mean there's no way? Like, it's literally gone. Like, it's their signs are gone. There's like plywood on the windows. It's done. They're not there anymore. He's cursing at me. Like, he's mad at me about it. And he's like, this is impossible. It makes no sense. What? It's a gold. I can't. No, I don't believe it.
I was just there 2 weeks ago. I go there all the time.
He refused to take my word for it. He Googled it in my presence.
You just told him a part of his life was gone.
And then he like found a story where they just said, look, we were profitable, but the stress of running a business with just me and my wife was a little much, and I just wanted out, and so we closed up. Oh, this doesn't make any sense. Why would you turn down? I don't believe it. Like, again, personally betrayed.
My money is good enough.
Yeah, and that reminds me of that mentality. I feel like he would also hold it against a place if their website didn't specifically say he couldn't bring his RV there. I mean, he doesn't have one, but if he did.
You know what? Actually, you're bringing another story to mind.
Yeah.
That first one about customer service and expectations. I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings 10 years ago. I'll never forget this, I don't think. This was back.
So far, you're right.
So this is back when they served their boneless wings in quantities of 8 and 12.
Okay.
So you could get 8 boneless wings, or you could get 12 boneless wings.
All right.
Fairly simple so far.
Very straightforward, yes.
I was hungry. So I was thinking, just one order is not going to do me.
Yeah, yeah.
So when the waitress asked what I wanted, I said, I want 16 boneless wings. She says to me, Sir, I'm sorry. They only come in orders of 8 or 12. So I said to her, oh, I'm sorry. I'll just get 2 orders of 8 then. And the longer I think about it, the more I think, like, I understand. Like, you're not hired to do math. And technically, you're right. There's no order of 16, but you can't. Whatever.
What?
I don't know.
Did she reply indignantly once you did that? Or did she just have that look where she's
no,
like, oh,
it never crossed her mind.
I find it hard to believe that no one else had ever had that request.
No, I must have been the guy. Either that or people did. And she was always like, why do they keep asking for 16? We only do 8 or 12.
God, what aren't you getting about this? 8 or 12?
Some guy was with some of his friends and they ordered 24. I was like, dude, read the menu. It says 8 or 12. How am I supposed to serve 24? That doesn't make any sense.
I am reminded. I've shared this story on Twitter before, probably a while back now, but there was a time, this is again back in Tampa, where most of my good stories are.
Story time.
I had to be up really early for something, like 5 in the morning or something, you know. And so I hit a Dunkin' Donuts on the way through, but it was one of, I don't know if this is prevalent in other parts of the country, but there they'll put full service Dunkin' Donuts inside of gas stations.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to go in, which is fine. I was willing to trade that off. And so I go in and I walk up to the counter, and this woman behind the counter she's clearly agitated. But I'm me, and I tend not to care about those things. And so I walk up and just like, she doesn't even say like good morning or how or can I help you or what can I get you. She just says,
that's the best.
If you want anything with eggs in it, I can't do it because my boss didn't do her job last night. And so I just looked at her and I said, is your boss a chicken? And she was so mad.
That's really funny.
I still
that's hilarious.
Because the thing about me is there's a level, like at levels of exhaustion or not yet awake, I operate on base instinct, and for me, the basis part of my brain is snappy, smartass remarks. That's what it does when I'm not there to stop it. It's what it does when I am there to stop it. Like, so you can imagine what it's like when the filter's completely turned off because there hasn't been coffee yet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think I wound up just getting a cup of coffee and not trusting her to make me any food. I think it was the plan I went with because I could see you make the coffee. Like, I can't.
Yeah. That was a chicken.
I mean, like, no regrets. Like, how often in your life are you going to get that set up?
I can't imagine anything funnier. Like, that's
it was just compounded by how upset it made her. Like,
Oh
Like,
my
she was
gosh.
expecting me to be like, "Oh God, are you okay? Do you need to chat? Do you want to talk about it?"
But like, you weren't even necessarily insulting her. Like, she could have laughed at it too.
She could have,
But whatever. Whatever.
but I much prefer that she didn't. Like,
Yes, of course.
like the story is so much better that it made her exponentially angrier. Like,
I can imagine her just glaring at you, just with death.
just slamming things, like slamming cups on tables and stuff. It was great. And I'm like, ah, yeah, that's a good one.
The only time I can think of when someone's remarks I watched make an employee angry was um, I was at medieval times, and one of my friends at the time was kind of rude.
Mm.
He was very much soaking in this atmosphere, like, oh, we're in medieval times. Like, you could just tear chunks off your turkey leg and throw the bone behind you. And he's getting into character. So he's very much like in the moment. And so instead of politely asking for a refill for his drink, he insisted on calling the female waitstaff a wench.
Oh, jeez.
So he would yell out, wench! Wench, I need another, this, that,
Another tanket of ale, wench. Yeah.
And then, like, she would serve him, and he'd be like, great job, wench! It's just like, oh, gosh.
Ugh.
And she was seething, and you could just tell. It was one of those things, like, we were just, like, mouthing, I'm so sorry.
How do we get him to stop? Please make him stop. No, doesn't sound like he did. I'm trying to think of other awesome customer service experiences. And I've delivered several of them. My sister. My sister is literally female me.
Okay, good to know.
Like, she doesn't have a beard. But like, personality wise, she's the really only person who has ever been able to truly match wit for wit. I mean, like, just in one of those battles, because she's me. It's fighting me. Anyhow, so we both worked. We both worked at the same grocery store, just not at the same time. Like, she started there like 2 weeks after I quit there. She got in a lot of trouble one time because a customer came through her checkout line, and all they were buying was prune juice and toilet paper, and she was also having one of those moments where the filter went off, and she was like, looks like somebody's having a fun evening or something like that. Yeah. One time while I was cashiering there, somebody bought following items that I did not comment on. This was all they purchased, these 3 items. They bought roses. They bought Vaseline and 1 cucumber. I'm like, what am I supposed to assume you're up to? Like, how do I not?
There's only so many scenarios.
I'm like, it could be that all of these things are unrelated.
Could be.
But it's weird.
I've had some strange trips to the grocery store, like, because I have a wife and kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to pick stuff up on the way home. So it's like, if we're having company over the next day or something, like, oh, let's get some beer to offer or something like that.
Right.
I've had trips where it's like, 6-pack beer sampler, box of diapers. That's it. I'm good.
This would be like, I'm going to drink all of this without getting up. So that's what the diapers are for.
So you have that's why you drink. Okay, I understand, sir. I totally understand.
If I find myself with a cart full of an embarrassing combination of things, I will go find other things I don't need and throw them in so it looks less weird. Like I don't one time I bought what I needed was either rope or zip ties or something like that, and a kitchen knife. Like those were the two things I was missing that I had a need for at that moment. It was like right after I moved in or something. And it's like you're taking inventory and like, oh, I got to tie up these cords and and I was like, oh, these can't be the only two things I buy. I'm like,
maybe I put on some kind of list.
I was like, should I buy these? Should I buy this today and like come back another time? I'm like, it makes you very self-conscious.
I feel like I would just embrace it because maybe not, but I've been pretty weird.
Well, you either have to go ahead and purchase some other things to ease your awkwardness, or you just have to go all in with it, and then when you're checking out, you're like, just so you know, I'm super not kidnapping and murdering anyone.
Definitely not. No, I'm out of that game. For real.
I took those warnings seriously.
Yeah. Last time just got way too messy. So, never going to Mexico ever again. The memories will haunt me for the next several lifetimes.
One time when I was working at Lowe's, it was like very late at night. I was out in the parking lot. I was gathering carts, as was my lot in life at that moment. And I can see what's happening over in the lumber section where someone's loading up lumber. And I had a choice to make where I could have told them what they were doing incorrectly or stayed in the parking lot and watched them for my own entertainment. I chose option B and then watched as they finished securing the plywood to the top of their car and then tried to get in their car only to realize that they had tied their doors closed.
Oh.
And it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And like he tugged on it a couple of times, like as if, I don't know, he thought he was going to pull the door through the rope, or and then he stood there looking at it, and then he just went Dukes of Hazzard and hopped in the window.
Yes, good.
It was a hatchback was the best part. So like it was only two doors.
Nice.
So it's not like he tied it through the back doors and like there was like another option. Nope. It was just that moment when he grabs the handle.
I don't know why that reminds me of this story. I don't know why. I don't know how this chains. There's a car. But one of the most whiplash roller coaster emotional moments of my whole life was one morning as a child. My parents had a very bad fight.
Okay.
That's never fun for a kid.
No.
I mean, they're like yelling at each other. It's pretty bad. They're like saying some stuff to each other they're probably going to regret later. And my dad was a salesman at the time, so he leaves for an appointment. So he walks out the door, and maybe 30 seconds later walks back in the door. And we are all staring at him. And my poor dad, typically a great, well-mannered, perfectly reasonable guy, has to explain to us that he has crashed into the telephone pole and totaled his car.
What?
Turns out he had some paperwork on the passenger seat. He made the turn at the end of the block and all the paper like shifted and slid. And he's just trying to deal with it and like lean down and he hit the pole, had to cancel the appointment.
Wow.
We all just had to go from like, I still feel like skin crawlingly weird about that morning.
Oh.
I don't know how to react.
This took a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely don't have one of those to counter you with.
Yes.
So I'll counter you with another Lowe's story.
Yes.
In plumbing, a service we would offer.
Is your boss a chicken?
Yes. If you purchased like a galvanized steel pipe or whatever, we would offer a cutting service for it, right? we could cut it and we could thread it. We're not going to cut your whole project, but we'll cut it in half. We'll even run it through the threading machine. You know,
Sure.
nothing major, all right? Well, a little bit before Father's Day, lady comes in, and she is just giving it to poor Kent. Kent's another guy in plumbing. And she wants this. What she wants is they're making something for the dad. And they need these pipes, some table or something, and they're going to use that as legs. I don't know. And she very specifically wants these cut to exact measurements and threaded. And he's trying to very nicely explain the nature of the service because it's a free service. Like, we don't charge for the cut.
Yeah, we'll cut it in half before you go.
Like, you can fit it in your car or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's just letting him have it. So he decides, you know what? Let's just shut her up. It's going to be faster for me to just do this or whatever. So I'm in the aisle, the next aisle from where the pipe cutter is. And I'm just watching because I can see between the shelves and I'm pretending to straighten up some fittings and stuff. And the thing about the pipe cutting machine is you have to make sure that this chalk is in, otherwise the oil squirts places.
Oh no.
Yeah. So she's really belittling him. I'm like, and so he goes to put up the little safety cables, and he asks her to step behind the safety cable, and like she's just like, "Fuck off!" And he's like, "All right, you know what? Whatever." And so he's pretty flustered, clearly, but
sure.
And he goes to cut the first piece, and he doesn't have the chalk in all the way, and it squirts her from head to toe with this pipe oil.
Gosh!
And he notices that oil squirts out of the machine, but his reaction is he steps back and checks his own clothes. He doesn't notice that he's gotten her yet, and she's so angry that she can't make sound, and so he doesn't know. There's like this moment of. And then he looks finally and notices that it's just dripping off of her. And then he looks back at the cutter, and all that's on the cutter is the towel we use to clear off the ends of the pipe of the oil. And he hands her this oily towel. And I had to leave the area because I'm laughing so hard at what I've just seen that I still am not sure that I didn't rupture my spleen that day. She tried to have him arrested for assault.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Which it wasn't. Although the debate raged on for years after that as to whether or not he did it on purpose.
Oh, that's that.
He maintained his innocence up until that time I left there. But I was like, it's hard to say. It's an easy thing to accidentally do incorrectly, especially under duress. But at the same time, it's a very rewarding thing to do on purpose to someone who's making your day miserable. I think they wound up giving her $100 to buy new clothes with.
Oh, wow.
And that was the end of the story. Yes. Like, shut her up and get her out of the store.
Yeah, never come back again.
Yeah. Which was a fairly creative solution, I thought.
Yeah, that's one.
She did legitimately call the police.
Wow.
She was unhappy. But it's like, I don't know, did you ever just see somebody in the moment get the exact thing in life they deserve? It's just such a wonderful moment of satisfaction.
The only time was it's not nearly a good story that I did see on the interstate on the way home from work. Some guy driving, must have been 110, 20, weaving, like going on the shoulder, like driving completely insane. About 3 minutes later, I come up to him, pulled over.
Oh, I love that.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Only seen it once, but it was real good.
I've seen it once at night. I wasn't the driver, but it was like just a 2-lane road, you know, just one of the backwoods roads in the Spring Hill, Florida. Yeah, dude just whoosh around us. You know, it's one of those roads that doesn't even have street lights, you know? Like one of those. And I'm like, so I was like, oh man, what a dick. And like 3 seconds, maybe. The next car behind us is lights. Around us, he goes. I was like, like that's got to be Christmas for a cop, I think.
Can't contain your glee at that point.
No. I enjoy stupidity being rewarded.
I do, but I rarely get to see
it. With appropriate rewards.
In a karmic reward sense.
Yeah.
I get you.
Like some of probably my favorite gift category is instant karma.
When I lived in Indiana, there was a local news story for a little while, like that made the circles about like the world's dumbest criminals. There was a guy, real simple story, goes into a convenience store. He's like, look, and he puts a couple of candy bars on the counter, and she gives him the total. He puts a $20 bill on the counter, then quickly leans over, swipes all the cash, and runs out of the store. And the total in the register was like $17.34.
It's like, thanks.
So somehow, like the gas station actually like owed the guy $1. Like, hey, sir, you forgot your change.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was. I do remember that one.
I mean, yeah. Most of the things that happened in Florida are just sad and sometimes disturbing.
Florida, that's a rough.
Yeah, that's me and Jason's gig.
Yeah, it's quite a get. Never ending, really.
No, I mean, there's a never-ending well of content coming out of that place. Still, Allison and I, most of the evening had live PD on in the background while we were doing various things.
Oh yeah,
I'm playing Minecraft and she's knitting some stuff, and so it's just good background noise. But like every time, like, and now we go to blah blah blah, and I was like, don't be Florida, don't be Florida, don't be Florida, and then it is I'm like, no, and it's like inevitably something horrendous. Like,
yep.
I was like, could you stop? Could you just stop? It's the heat. The heat drives you nuts.
Oh, is that okay?
Sure.
The one other funny Indiana one was there was a tornado that came through, and they were interviewing some of the locals about it. And they were asking this local man, this older guy, what was it like? And he says, well, they always say it sounds like a freight train, but I ain't hear no whistle or no clickety clack. Now, to be fair, in the many years since I've seen that, I now realize maybe he was being funny, like maybe it was intentional. But I think I'm being optimistic.
At the time, it was like, I didn't hear anybody yell all aboard. No one checked my ticket.
We saw it live, like on the news, and my mom just turns to us and she's like, "Oh my gosh, did that just happen? Like, did he really just say that?"
Yeah, Ma, he did.
So good.
Yeah, nice. Ma, he did. Oh, I just put the point back where like it's you next to you on my screen.
Ooh.
Nope. Scrolling back down.
It's no fun to put you on screen. Your face never changes.
No, but it's probably less weird. Yeah.
Only a little.
Oh. Allison saw that interview. Always remembered him saying that.
Really?
So Seth, the live chat.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
It's actually watching us. That's weird.
I mean, 5 watchers, and really, okay, one is me, and one is you, and one is Allison.
Okay.
She's in the other room, because I was like, it's going to be weird, because you're going to hear me, and then 7 seconds later, you're going to hear the exact same thing, while I'm saying something different.
I was streaming this afternoon, like from 2:30 to 5:30, I was playing Zelda, and I was doing the most boring things imaginable. And at one point, 8 people were watching as I was wandering around a labyrinth, completely lost. Not even fighting enemies. And I'm talking like a good half hour, just walking around.
Just doing grindy things, or just
No,
just wandering?
I mean, no exaggeration. Just walking around in endless circles because I'm terrible at mazes in video games. Or like I tried to climb up to a shrine and it started raining. So I kept falling and I just gave up.
Was that a thing? You can't climb if it's raining?
It's a lot harder too. So if you don't have enough stamina, you can't make it to certain heights. And I couldn't. So I just kind of gave up.
Gotcha.
I did a side quest where you have a torch that's lit and you have to carry the flame from one area to another.
This is riveting.
It was the most boring stream possible. Like if you made a list, one of the top 3 most boring things you can do in Breath of the Wild. Oh, Eric Bailey's stream this afternoon.
I'm leaving work early to catch it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I should have apologized more, but whatever.
Nah. They know what they're signing up for.
That's true.
You were very clear. Very clear. I mean, have they stopped offering you advice you don't want?
You know what? I guess my reputation did get out there somehow, because twice people asked before they offered it.
Oh, that's good.
It is.
Yeah.
And I accepted it. It was fine. It does make a difference that it's not my first time playing through. So it's not like a spoiler situation. But it definitely still is a line of, yeah, this is completely unsolicited. I don't care how you want me to play. I'm going to play how I play.
Yeah. And this is not for your enjoyment. This is for my enjoyment.
Yeah. It's been a good balance so far. Nobody's out of line yet.
It's kind of like this show here.
Much
the whole
like
idea of it. Any enjoyment that viewers get out of this is purely coincidental. Very happy if you're entertained by it. However, our intention is to just, shoot the shit for a while. That's all. I really feel like that might not, like, people didn't believe me at first. It was like, oh no, we remember. We remember. I was like, well, get ready to have your memories shattered. If you're expecting the well thought out listener question that we answer because we actually had lead time on it, nope.
Ahead of time, no, none of that.
If you're expecting music, nope. I mean, we could have been like, podcast is a podcast. But I mean, we're not.
Just play Careless Whisper.
over and over. And then like we just lower it, but it keeps playing in the background. All of us 5 watching now turns into 40.
I'm still looking to putting 4 ads in the first 2 minutes of this video.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So many ads.
Yep.
I wouldn't see them. I have YouTube Red.
Nice.
But
YouTube wants me to get YouTube Red, but I haven't sprung.
I should take that back. I don't subscribe to YouTube Red. I have Google Play. That's like my music provider.
Oh, okay.
And like a subset of that subscription is it also gives you YouTube Red.
That's kind of cool.
So it's very nice to not have stupid ads in the beginning, especially like when you get like a 45-second ad for a 30-second video.
Yeah.
So that's nice, but it isn't so nice that I would have paid for it as its own service.
Right.
Like, I enjoy that it's just a perk of how I get my music.
Yeah, it's like buying Pandora Premium, but then having YouTube ad-free too. That's cool.
Yes, except I don't know what was with Pandora. I did the
Well,
it was like Pandora 1 or something, and if I remember right,
yeah.
I tried it once, and it was like they still limited how many songs you could skip.
Oh, see, that doesn't. Yeah, that's not the way to do it.
It's like, if I'm paying you, we're taking the chains off. Like, if
Right.
this is a free service, then certainly you can put any gate or chain up you wish. I'm not paying you. I have no right to gripe.
I still use the free version of Pandora at work. It's just a habit.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating because recently they made a change where it's now only 40 minutes of inactivity before they ask if you're still there.
Mm.
So you're clicking that more often.
Oh, that's annoying.
But they also allow you to replay a song now if you like it.
Oh, that's good.
So that's cool. It's just a strange mix of two things that
yeah.
I don't know.
That's bizarre.
But, Tom, you are up past your bedtime.
Oh yeah, like 2 hours past it. But it's Friday. So if I had to go to work tomorrow, I probably would have called this whole thing off by the time we got around to this. But I don't.
Just making sure.
I just have, house life things to do.
Yeah, I got enough work. That's good.
I need to put air in my tires. That's a thing that should happen.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I need an oil change, but it's probably not happening tomorrow. So if you don't get to the oil change place early, don't go to the oil change place.
We have a bush-like growth thing that needs to be cut down.
So you're just going to insult it for a while?
Yeah, I'm just going to cut it to shreds till it has no self-worth remaining.
Yeah, it'll shrivel up and die. We haven't put Allison on the lease yet, and we probably should because she's been here like a month and a week now.
Sure, yeah.
We meant to, but we only attempted once, and it just happened to be a time when the leasing agent was out showing apartments. And we never made a second attempt.
One of these days.
Yeah.
The wife's car's AC no longer blows cold air. It just kind of blows air. Blowing air is nice.
It's just a fan at this point.
When it's 95 degrees out and you have two children in the back.
That seems like a priority.
So we got to go get that done.
Yeah. We're also devoid of food items.
Okay.
Yes, we'll do that as well.
Do you know what happened to us for the first time ever? We've never encountered this before. So Molly went grocery shopping, and I'm the one who likes bananas.
Yeah.
So she got me a bunch of bananas.
Okay.
And they're green. Now, typically, they start out green and they ripen.
Yeah.
Like they go to yellow.
Yep.
Into brown. And there's shades in between.
Almost
there's like yellow green, yellow brown.
They're like reverse traffic lights almost.
That was yeah. That was about 2.5 weeks ago. They're still green.
Are you sure she didn't buy you plantains?
I'm not. I'm pretty sure, but because I've tried to eat one, it was crunch. It was crunchy.
I'll show you.
We're wondering, if they got just picked so early, they can't. We don't know. We're not sure. They're really strange.
They're agriculturally fascinating at this point.
I could literally go grab one right now and crack it open for you and be like, look at this. It's like a petrified banana.
I mean, I believe
really
you.
Strange. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, because it gets softer over time until it's almost
very much so. Within a week, sometimes they're mushy. No, not these guys.
This is interesting. This is an interesting development.
I felt like an idiot. I was at work at my desk, trying to tear this thing open, grinding my teeth into it.
I picture like a time lapse as the day goes on, where like you're getting more aggressive with it, and like you're getting tools out of the workshop. Like there's a blowtorch at one point. Like you have the full mask on, trying to get into this thing.
We do have that. We can, yeah.
See, Allison says plantains are harder than bananas.
Yeah, but these are like, this isn't like they're harder. This is like there's something wrong with it. Like it's not edible. I mean, maybe plantains aren't edible. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe, but
maybe she accidentally got the wax display bananas.
Maybe. I'll do some research. Do plantains take longer to ripen?
I don't know.
They take like weeks.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, you got to cook them before you eat them.
Wow, maybe that's it. I don't know. Cool.
I'm reminded.
That's hilarious. You have to cook them before you eat them. Not Eric Bailey, just tears right in.
You don't tell me what I have to cook and not cook before I eat it. I'm Nintendo legend. I would like for you to qualify that for increasingly unrelated stupid decisions. Well, Eric, I'm Nintendo legend.
Are you crunching on raw rice?
I was hanging out with a couple of friends of mine, and they're a couple, right? And her brother was staying with them. And so we're hanging out, and he comes out of his room, or he comes home from something, I don't remember which, and he starts talking, about his day or whatever. He's like, I went to the store, and I wanted to just get some stuff for lettuce or for a salad, and I got this lettuce, but it's weird, and I'm not quite sure what kind of lettuce it is. And he goes to the fridge and pulls it out, and it's a head of cabbage. And it's one of those scenarios where you kind of don't want to insult somebody by laughing.
Sure, yeah.
However,
but they have to know.
You can't not laugh at it because it's probably one of the funniest things you'll witness live. Oh, Allison has never heard of people eating plantains raw. Could be wrong, but she doesn't feel like she is.
I mean, if these are plantains, there's a reason you never have. It's impossible. That's
just keep us posted is all I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out.
It's at the bottom of this plantain banana debacle. But it's when you said they stayed green forever, that made me think plantain, because those are always green, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're ever not green.
I'm just gonna like walk right up to my wife and just smash them on the floor.
No, just don't say anything now. But like for Christmas,
to learn what a freaking banana is.
For Christmas, you just get her a book called "The Difference Between Plantains and Bananas." And
like tie them to it.
Oh, that's a good idea, though. Right now, in the state you described them in, you can make some cool nunchucks out of two of them.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Plantain nunchucks would be awesome.
That would be. Plantain.
You should be like, look at me. I'm Fruit Ninja. That's funny and topical because it's the name of a video game you see.
Inedible Fruit Ninja.
Yep. Allison developed this thing she likes to do sometimes where she pretends to not get my joke until she realized what that triggers is me endlessly over-explaining the joke.
Oh, no.
Which I do on purpose because I discovered it to be my sister's kryptonite. And it's like, if it could take her down, I could probably reasonably use this on anyone.
Nice.
It's just so damn funny.
You cruel man.
I'm like, you see, it's funny because I'm just going into this long. It's basically
because if her boss was a chicken, she could like.
Part of me does kind of wish I'd gotten some elaboration as to what it is exactly her boss didn't do that would prevent me from eating eggs. But but no, I think I handled it well.
I think you can't improve that. The dynamic of humor between me and Molly is that within like 3 weeks of dating, she no longer found me to be funny.
I've at least beat that record.
I burned through that real quick. Like, people have actually said to her face, like, "Isn't he funny?" And she's like, "No."
Oh God! Oh God!
But here's the thing, Tom. If it's unintentional, she thinks it's hilarious. If I fall down the stairs, she will crack up.
She likes shtick.
Kind of sucks, though.
Yeah, it's physical humor for her.
Yeah, I could say the most clever, brilliant joke just connects on 4 different levels. She'll just like kind of like look at me like I'm an idiot, like, what? Haha. I could slip on a plantain peel in the kitchen and like crack my head against the refrigerator and be like, "Oh my gosh, that really hurt." And she would be dying laughing if I did that.
It's like, no, really, I'm in a lot of pain.
I know, and it's hilarious.
The best part about that is just it's eventually your kids are going to also find that funny because they're going to get that from her, and then they're going to think, why wait for him to accidentally get hurt when I could attack him with something?
Tom, like, it's weird dealing with that stuff. Like, Little Legend has learned how to hit. So if she doesn't like something you say, she might punch you.
Yeah, this was about.
Like, how do you explain to a 2-year-old you can't just punch us if you don't like what we say? Like, that's not how civilized society works.
I'm like, take it easy, little Twitter.
Right.
That my oldest niece, when she was, I want to say about the same age. I don't know if you ever saw the game. They actually made a Scene It game for the Xbox 360. They made 2 of them, but for all intents and purposes, they made 1. And it came boxed with 4 special controllers for it. It was cool. It was like a game show buzzer. And then it also had the XBAY buttons vertically.
Yeah.
It was really cool. It was, you could actually, if you were good, could use that controller for other games, I guess.
I'm sure.
Because the buzzer was actually also a directional pad. The way it was very well engineered, but was useless outside of that. Anyhow, yeah, one day I'm over there and we had just finished playing around, and we're just hanging out, and all of a sudden she grabs one of these controllers and just full bore nails my sister in the side of the face with it, just like a full punch with it. I'm like it was shocking. Like, the whole room just comes to a complete halt. Like, what did I just witness? Where did you figure that out? I'm like, yeah, I was.
That's why they call it Terrible Twos.
Yeah. But it was also interesting to her intelligence at the time, because she did immediately recognize that she had done something incorrect. Like, she buried her face immediately and like, oh, what have I just done?
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is now to this day a very intelligent kid. Not to brag, humble brag, but
right. I think our kids will be pretty intelligent, but then some days I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna ruin them with puns.
Yeah. Use all that brain space for useless bad joke making skills.
Yeah, I find it's genetic for me. I think. I was explaining this last night. We're Scots-Irish on my mom's side. and we have a family crest and everything. But on that crest, there's this phrase, and if you try to track down the lore of this phrase, it comes basically down to we sided with some duke or lord or earl in some kind of leadership conflict of some kind, and we did this odd sneak attack deal where our people were hiding in like hay carts and attacking people with pitchforks, and so the because they were attacking them with pitchforks, the thing on the crest is over fork over, and we basically just made a smart-ass trolley thing on our own family crest centuries ago. And I was like, well, I had no chance. I never had a chance at not becoming this.
Legacy was set generations ago.
Like, I have it. My sister has it. Both my nieces have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
A legacy of smartassitude.
Yeah, it's hard to think of anything good I'll be passing on to my kids.
I mean,
I'm not fishing for compliments either.
The boy will be tall.
Yeah. Oh,
that's useful.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
I guess that's all you need.
Boy Billy and girl Billy.
Yep. The boy, the girl.
Yeah. The girl will possibly be a creative.
Yeah, we're not. See, I would think she would be creative, except she has an incredible arm.
Just one.
She throws things. Yeah, just one. She can throw things hard and accurate. Way better than any other 2-year-old I've seen.
We should line up a bunch of them and do some testing.
We should, because I've known like grown people who don't know how to throw a ball, but she just knew like instinctually. Really strange. I'm hoping it gets better.
Well, yeah. Well, so the problem is
it could just stagnate.
There's only at this time, who knows what will come up, but there's only really women's softball, which is underhand throws, which isn't going to help her if her skill is overhand.
True. See, my thing was when I was 8 years old, I thought I was so precocious. I was really good at drawing. I had pretty good handwriting. And I was a pretty good swimmer at 8 years old. The problem is my skills in those areas have not advanced since. My handwriting still looks like it did when I was 8. My swimming still pretty identical to when I was 8 years old. My drawing skills definitely have not gone up at all. It's just funny how that works.
That's unfortunate. Ooh, maybe she could do shot put.
Maybe. You know, I think throwing stuff at stuff is just generally a good skill to have.
Yeah. I mean, I can think of a lot of times when it might come in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-defense.
Mm-hmm. Self-offense.
There you go. In this world, if you can take out the person next to you, you're winning.
You got to make sure you're preparing her for the upcoming Book of Eli apocalypse.
Yes. Seriously.
As long as she can throw stuff, she'll be fine.
Yep. Here, learn to throw stuff good. Let me gouge your eyes out real quick. We'll be fine.
Make sure you keep one copy of the Bible. Just one.
We have some of those around here.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to choose your favorite. I feel like I might be the only person who didn't see it coming, but the twist in that movie blew my mind.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Like I'm pretty oblivious. So like I let myself get so into movies, I normally don't see the twists. Like even do you remember The Village?
Yeah. Oh wait,
I'm
no,
not
you mean the
saying
movie The Village?
yes.
Oh, I mean like a village in that village, the city in the
Uh,
movie. No, no, I didn't watch The Village.
I'm not saying The Village was good, but I will saying I didn't see the ending coming. Most people did. I did not.
Huh. Hmm. 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 Well, it's interesting watching it through now, and like there's subtle little hints to it. Like
Mhm.
in the very beginning, he's scavenging through this building and he bumps into a piece of furniture. And like there's another point where he comes across those old people, the old cannibals.
Mhm.
And like, there's a no trespassing sign. He's, I'm very sorry I didn't see it. But at the time, you just think, well, yeah, okay. I guess I
Right.
can understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe there even isn't a sign and the guy's just crazy.
I love when movies have details like that, but then people don't notice them for a while.
Hmm.
Then later they do, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's cool that they actually put the effort in to put that in there.
Little
Um,
hints, little hints.
I read about one. It's not a hint, but it's still like a production detail. Um, Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park movie. Do you remember that strange scene where the power goes out, and so the head of the park, I don't remember the character's name.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, the old guy, but
Yeah, okay. I know who you're talking about.
yeah, he and Ian Malcolm and the lawyer, I think, I'm not sure. The point is, they just have this moment of just they're at peak. They get ice cream. They open the freezer and they're all sitting around the table and just eating these sad bowls of ice cream. And it seems a little random, but very human. Like it's gallows humor. Like at some point, your park with dinosaurs is completely tearing apart at the seams. Your grand vision is lost. Later, the power is restored. And then the two kids are running through the compound being chased by the velociraptors.
Yeah,
One of them runs through the kitchen and slips on some water and slams into the wall.
yeah.
And because of that, they're able to get away. The whole reason that puddle of water was there was because the power went out and stuff in the freezer melted,
Mm.
and the power came back on, and there's a puddle of water in the kitchen.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I would have never thought of that on my own.
Production details.
Protection details.
Yeah. I like effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good, especially when it's okay if you don't get credit for it.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that a little bit lately. It's something I can do better in. But
Hmm.
when you're willing to contribute to something to make sure it's excellent, you don't need the credit. You're just happy to see it done well. That's a good thing in this world.
Hmm. Good product. Good
Yeah.
product.
Yeah. How do we do that?
By being a chicken.
That would help.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need her to give me credit when I do it right. I just need to make sure she has her eggs. That's fine.
Yeah, she gets very surly if there's no eggs. Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
I like how Allison is actually participating in the chat. That's amazing.
She
It's wonderful.
is. I should have just got her a headset at this point. Yeah. Well, I'm starting to fade a little bit, I must say.
I am too. So
It's getting a little late. I'm getting a
it
little long
is.
in the tooth.
Long in the tooth and gray in the hair. Do you have gray hair yet?
In my beard, I do.
I'm getting some in the temples.
Oh, yeah. That's a distinguished look.
Yeah, I dig it. I'm going for the salt and pepper look for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that suits you. I definitely
So,
have it in my beard. I haven't really noticed it in my actual hair
okay.
yet. But we're getting there. I mean, 34 and a half now.
We're getting older, Tom.
I am reserved to the fact that there will be grayness happening at any moment. I could wake up tomorrow and start noticing it. I don't think that's really going to bother me, honestly. I don't care.
I'm at peace with mine.
Yeah. I'm like some people, that's literally the end of the world.
Oh, really? They take it so seriously.
Like, I'm more concerned with the creaks and the groans and that my knee makes all of these cracking and popping noises when I go downstairs.
I've gone through bouts with my ankle and my back this year that just make me think, like, come on, am I that old?
I'm in the middle of dealing with back and neck stuff.
That sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. Ugh. Come to find out, my neck is actually kind of on a little bit of an angle to the right, which isn't great.
Okay.
Like the actual vertebrae in there.
Wow.
And it's also supposed to have some natural curvature to it, like I guess front to back curvature. And mine doesn't.
Okay.
So we're working on that.
Okay.
It's not a great process, but it's slowly happening.
Well, good luck with that.
Oh, thanks. I get to see the old chiropractor twice a week right now.
Twice a week?
Yes.
Tom, dang.
It's helping, but it isn't cheap.
Right, yeah, that's what it always comes down to.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to hang on to your monies, or do you want to be out of discomfort? Yeah. Stop making me choose.
Well, I will put you out of your misery for tonight at least.
Perfect. Oh, you mean
not permanently, Tom.
Cool.
It's been fun catching up with you. I'm glad that we are two people who could just share stories and laugh at them.
Yep. That's why I was explaining earlier that I was very comfortable doing a no script, no talking points thing, because we have this. There are a few people I have the chemistry with to be able to pull off something like this for 2 or 3 hours or however long we've been jibber-jabbering.
Yep.
And just keep going. More stories, more content. So neat.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Don't forget to put this behind a paywall.
Definitely. I'm going to put 4 ads in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, we need something. We need like a snappy line, like, "You are a bad enough dude to rescue the president, but, no rush."
Let's think, what can our clothes be?
See you never.
See you next time. Or maybe not.
That's true. Yeah, for, I don't know, the 2 of you, by my calculations, who are watching that aren't us, we may or may not ever do another one of these.
Yeah, perfect.
That's literally the amount of commitment. Maybe not.
Yep. So, Tom, it's been great seeing you, but I can't commit to this again.
Yeah,
I might not see you again. Whatever. It's fine.
You may. I actually wouldn't mind taking a vacation to Chicago at some point, but.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
But
keep in touch.
Oh, but of course. See you on the interwebs.
Cool.
Until then.
I'm gonna totally hang up first. I promise.
No, I'm gonna.
No.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you.
Bye.